So we're trying to get women interested in leadership. We have gone around Vitilevu. This is our 9th workshop, trying to encourage women to participate in municipal elections. And we will continue to the north and to Overlaw as well. We know we've started early. The local government elections is not till next year. But when I went around International Women's Day to different parts of Fiji, I kept asking how many women were interested in leadership. And we saw a lot of hesitation. Now we've had the likes of late Tofa Vakatale. We've had so many women who have made mega changes in our lives. But now we see a lot of hesitation. And when we started asking why, women said they needed capacity building, they needed confidence, they needed emotional and mental support, they're scared of social media humiliation. So I started working on developing a program as a women member of parliament to encourage more women in parliament in time to come. It's important to start from local government elections. So when International Republic Institute came around, I asked for their assistance so we can run first round of workshops where I'm going out physically trying to encourage women, and then there'll be a second and third round of workshop where they'll take elections office around to prepare women on local government elections. This round is more about just allaying the fears of the women, trying to motivate them, and there are women from all different political parties who are in these sessions, just so that they get the interest to stand for elections, and we can provide a network for emotional and mental support. We can provide skills where there's a gap, capacity building rather, where there's a gap, so that we have more women standing for local government elections, and I hope that would be a good stepping stone for national elections. Out of 55 members of parliament, we have only 5 women. And if decisions are made where men and women, people from different geographical areas, different age groups come together, then we make better decisions and better policies that will serve all interests in Fiji. I think it's very common. You never see memes made on men, or almost never. But for the past decades, if you see a woman a member of parliament, I assume these are generally men who take low blow and do a lot of. They try and humiliate women in parliament or women in leadership. The domestic violence rates in Fiji. 1 in every 3 women go through domestic violence. In decision making, a woman has to work with men. They have to work together. There are photographs taken of people working together. And next thing you'll see people are cutting and pasting and creating all kinds of rumors. That impacts their family. That impacts how their quality of life can get affected around their own family, their own children, their own spouses. So it is not something to joke about, but it's important to have their voices heard. I also call on women. There's more than 50% of the country is women, 50.09. And more women come for voting. So unless women make the choice to stand up for women. Now, if 50% of women decide to stand up and say, we're going to work on barriers, no barrier will be able to stop women. But we have to decide to support each other. You see a negative post on a woman, instead of sharing and enjoying the humiliation, it's important to report those posts. It's important whether you like a person or not. Do not be part of humiliating somebody and creating indignity for somebody else. It's a reflection on you and who you are. When we start participating in putting others down. So I think it's women who could make a lot of difference if we decide to support each other emotionally and mentally and with information, with knowledge. And once we decide to rise, there's nothing that'll stop us. I think it's a call for women to become more aware. When we were doing Tavo, Rekireki, some of those areas, we were surprised at the lack of awareness on what is an election, even though we've just been through one. Because most people said, we were told to vote for a number and we voted. How does that number make a difference in your life? People didn't know. What does Parliament do? People didn't know. Every decision that's made, every law, every policy, whether it's water in your life or your employment or roads, everything that there are laws that are made, they're made in Parliament. So we have to take interest, and we have to know who we have put in Parliament who's going to work towards our interest. So I'm asking the women and the young to take interest, because the decisions made in Parliament affects you in your life. Take interest, become aware, know who is standing, know whether they will be able to stand up for you in your voice, and start taking interest, because your life and your children's life depends on the policies that are developed.